Okay, good morning, world. How are we today? Yes, so this morning I am reading articles all about how One Nation, Pauline Hansen's One Nation, is on the rise and is exceeding expectations and taking over, Labor. As it stands right now, One Nation is ahead in the polls. I think it was by maybe like 3%. So, I mean, exciting times. I would say that I very much agree, or like I way more agree with the policies that One Nation stands for and that they've put out than I do with Labor or Liberal. I think it's like people are just done. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good to see. It's like people actually are, going to be talking, making their point with their vote. Because like for too long, it's almost like in this country, people are just like, oh yeah, vote Labor, oh yeah, vote Labor, like without thinking like much about it, without because it's not even just like what parties say they're gonna do, because we all know that they lie, don't they? They lie and manipulate the people in order to get votes. And I really hope that Pauline Hansen and One Nation are not manipulating the public. I hope that they really are standing for what they say. They have put a big emphasis on the cost of living and, that Australians are poor, that, we are not doing well. And she's pointing out as well, the income of the Labor Party, like what they're earning. Albanese's on like 600,000 a year. And I don't know, some people might think, yeah, well, he's the Prime Minister, he should probably earn that. But did you know as well that like Daniel Andrews was on like 500,000 when he was Premier for Victoria? He was the highest paid Premier for a state in this country. I'm pretty sure he nominated himself to earn that amount, by the way. So Albanese's on like 600,000 a year. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous how much they earn per year. And it's like, even on top of what they earn per year, they also have travel allowance for themselves and their families. They're not flying economy either. They're flying business class. They get put up in hotels. Their food, dining out and all that is part of it, obviously. Chauffeured car travel, you name it. All inclusive, isn't it? Little holidays, really, whenever. And their whole deal as well is claiming, oh, well, I shouldn't have to be away from my family for so long, for work and whatnot. So, sometimes I'll fly my family out to me and That's like, mate, you chose that job. You chose the job where you're going to be away from your family a bit, so that you could have the power, so you can have the there is a level of like, fame kind of, like everyone knows who you are. You chose that job. You wanted that life. And so why should the tax dollars that people have, paid for, blood, sweat and tears, also be paying for your family to live a life of luxury on top of your income, right? Extra on top of your income, to fly business and stay in fancy hotels and dine out and all that and be with you. Other you know, FIFO, whatever, workers, is that what they got going on? You know, do their partners and children get flown in and out? No, they don't. Do they get put up in fancy hotels and have a, you know, you can put dining out and things like that also on the bill? No. Okay. I mean, other people are making sacrifices in their life. Other people are putting their kids in daycare from before 1 year old, you know, to earn an income to make ends meet. Not able to be at home with their children, not able to spend enough quality time with their family. You know, all to make ends meet, because we're the slaves, right? But you, politicians, you get, you know, a 3-figure a year income, and it's at the high end of the 3 figures. Not 3 figure, sorry, 6 figure. 6 figure income per year. Plus you've got all your travel and accommodation and all that on top of that. And we're paying for it. We're paying for it. Our kids are in daycare to pay for it. You know, they're going to go to daycare. We can't be with our children because we're going to go to work and slave away to pay tax dollars, to pay for your travel, your family's travel, your family's accommodation, and your disgustingly high annual income. Why should politicians get paid that much? Who voted that? Who in the public, who of all the population, the people, the citizens, who said, yeah, you know what, I reckon politicians should get, you know, between 200,000 and 600,000 a year? Who signed off on that? Them. Of course they would. Of course they would agree to something that's such a joke. Meanwhile, we're over here, you know, struggling to put new tyres on the car, or pay for your child's camp, or, you know, just whatever, like us normal people have to deal with. And at least, you know, One Nation is bringing attention to that. And I really hope that, you know, she really does fight for people's livelihoods, you know, small business, earning a decent income, you know, whatever changes can be implemented to reduce the cost of living. You know, I did see the other day that the government has announced like a new benchmark for what the lowest income can be, like what's it called? Not like basic income, but you know, like what's it called when it's like the amount that is the least that somebody can get paid in Australia per hour, right? That the government has said has to be increased a bit, and they gave like a percentage, like they gave like a dollar amount, which then you know, if you work a 40-hour week, that would bring your weekly income to just over $1,000. And you know, the government has done that again to deflect from themselves, the Labor government. You know, because everyone's been shouting about how you know, the cost of living is ridiculous in this country. I mean, everything only increased so much, and that wages don't, you know, they don't meet that. You know, inflation of prices and, you know, utility bills going up, and rates and what's it called? Your mortgage and everything. You know, if all of that goes up and your wage doesn't also go up enough, then there's a problem, isn't there? So they've said, oh yep, you know, wages have to go up, and you know, that'll sort that problem out a bit, won't it? You know, oh, we've done this, we've introduced this policy, so you know, you can't get mad at us. We've done something about it. We have listened. We have not just identified an issue, we have identified a solution. And that solution that they have identified, you know, is not just a solution for you. They obviously get more tax dollars as well with your pay increase, because if you earn a little bit more, then they earn a little bit more. That's how it works. You know, the price of anything goes up in this country, then the amount of tax dollars they get from that goes up as well, doesn't it? You know, so yeah, they actually, it's a win-win situation for them when they, you know, the inflation of prices on things, but also increasing your wage a little bit. They win off both things. Anyway, so yeah, look, it's exciting to see what Pauline Hansen and One Nation are, you know, speaking about. I think it's so funny that in like one day they were able to raise like $1 million to campaign against Labor, after Labor had, you know, been paying for ads and you know, doing a smear campaign against One Nation, and you know, trying to get, even though they are paid so much money, all of them, not just Albanese, but like the whole Labor Party, that's why they are kind of cocky, you know what I mean? They get paid real good and they've got like arrogance, and they're too far removed from us, you know. And anyway, they've been campaigning against One Nation, you know, asking the people, oh, donate $27. You know, if everyone did that, then we'd have the funds to stop One Nation from getting seats, you know, and it's like, you guys have so much money, like privately. You've got all these properties and and you're asking people who are struggling to make ends meet, you're asking them to donate towards your campaign. Really? Like, you know, and then One Nation is like, all right, let's stop these guys, and then the country's like, yeah, take my money. I think it's so funny. Anyway, so it's exciting, it's interesting. We shall see what happens. It's definitely a space to be watched, isn't it? And you can tell that Labor is obviously scared because of the campaigning and the things they're saying, and you know, even how Albanese's been talking, you know, he's trying to act like he's not scared. He's trying to be all nonchalant about it and all that, but yeah, I think they're pretty worried. I think they're pretty worried that Pauline Hansen and One Nation is about to take over. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. You all have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.